It's officially finally never going to be cold again for the next couple months. This right here is my 98 Dodge Grand Caravan. This one is one of my daily drivers. You'll be able to observe that with the mess that is in here. This bad boy has got power windows, power locks, power mirrors, cruise control, overhead console, manual seats, rear AC, dual climate control, aftermarket Pioneer stereo with dash cam. Couple model cars in the center console, among other things. One of them being a 3rd gen Caravan that I got for, I think that was half off. So I think I got it for $1 at a thrift shop. That lives in there. I don't know. Got a wicker basket for my center console with various bits and bobs. Trans fluid for my truck, some scotch tape, towels, wind visor, coat. I got the rear bench out of it right now. Got some cardboard back there. I've been hauling some stuff. This bad boy has got a really nice headliner. All the dome lights are on. What do we got here? I guess I'll give you a colder start. Not really cold because I drove it home from work. This bad boy has 203,000 we just rolled today. We got no gas. I gotta get gas tomorrow morning or the next time I drive it. Fires right up. No lights except door jar and the fuel light, naturally. Runs real well. Ice cold AC. I got a bad blend door somewhere. We ignore that because I don't feel like taking the dash apart again. I say that because I've had it apart a few times for heater cores. And I guess we'll get into that story now. So before I bought it, the lady I got it from had a heater core done by a shop for, I think they charged her like $800 or $900. To do the heater core right, you have to pull this whole dash out. But there's a couple fellas on YouTube that show you how to get it out from here without pulling everything. You have to pull the pedal, a couple plastic covers, and you can kind of finagle it out. I assume the shop went that route, if they even replaced it at all. Anyway, I got it, and it started dripping again, so I had to replace the heater core. So I did. Well, no, what it was is I had this dash the first time I had this dash all apart, and I'm like, well, I got it apart. They ran some stop leak through the system for a head gasket issue, and I'm like, I'm getting rid of all that. I'm putting new heater core in so it's got no stop leak in it. Did that, buttoned it up, drove it for a few months, and it leaked again. And so I did the heater core again, and then it leaked again. And about that time I got smart and I started looking, and there's an aluminum hose up here, 2 aluminum hoses that connect the heater core, go through the firewall outside to the heater lines, and that aluminum hose had actually corroded, which caused a pinhole leak that would open up every once in a while and blow by the clamps on the hose. Yeah, so that was a fun experience. So I don't think the original heater core was bad when they paid to have it done. I think that was the original issue. But yeah, and then they put head gaskets in it around, I want to say 175, I think the records show. I've got the paper somewhere. Okay, so they did a heater core, got eaten for 800 bucks. Did the head gaskets, got hit for another, I don't know, 1200 or whatever. And then it went into limp mode. The transmission went into limp mode, wouldn't do anything. So they parked this bad boy back in, I want to say 2015 or so, and it sat for a good 5 years before I got a hold of it for free. They were looking to get it off the property, get rid of it. I said, I'll take it off your hands, and so I did. And I drove it home in limp mode, and then I guess there she was. I think it had 180,000 on it when I got a hold of it. And what ended up being wrong with her is if I can get my hood up here, down there somewhere, can't really see them, but anyway, down there on the transmission is the old shift solenoid. That's what was wrong. 150 bucks later, new shift solenoid, drove down the road great. But since then, I guess we put, I want to say, a little over 20,000 miles on it now. And I've had the upper intake off, resealed that, did all the plugs. New radiator hoses, upper and lower, new valve cover gaskets, new spark plug wires, plugs. That motor mount is new. I did convert my dry belts to a double-sided V-belt, or a double-sided V-belt, and which comes with the upgraded idler and tensioner, and it's got a new serpentine belt on it. It's got a new water pump on it. I did the timing chain as well, so it's got a new timing chain on it. This one, I haven't done the fuel lines on yet. This one is a returnless system, and it is the newer style that does not have the flex joints over here that leak. This is good. This guy, I gotta start looking at replacing here, just this line, because that's getting pretty old. Other than that, I resealed the AC system, got it vacuumed and recharged up. I lost this cap, believe it or not. I believe it's in here somewhere. I set it down to charge it up, and I knocked it in, and I think it fell inside this subframe somewhere. It's got a new battery in it. It's got new struts. In fact, it's got all new suspension. These headlights I polished up. I think they're getting ready to be polished again, going down the road, bugs, grime. Oh yeah, it's got a new radiator, because the old radiator was filled with stock leak. Naturally. Runs pretty good. But yeah, it's got new shocks, new tie rod ends, ball joints, sway bar links, sway bar bushings. That motor mount is also new. And then the rear suspension, it's actually got new leafs on it, new rear shocks. Yeah, I've done a lot of work to it actually over the last couple of years. I got these nice looking hubcaps. I found these, I don't know if they were on a New Yorker or a LeBaron or what, but I love them. I took them, I had to have them. And they look great on here. We'll shut her down actually, because I don't have that much fuel in it. What else have I done to it? Oh, yeah. So, back behind here, you would find drum brakes usually, right? In this case, back there, I don't know if you can see it. Those are not drums. I converted this one to 4th gen rear disc brakes. And so I got the hub assembly and the rotor and everything off of a 2001 Caravan at the junkyard. Got new calipers, got new pads. Honestly, the rotors might be new, and I might have what I grabbed is the, I guess the hub assembly. not even the hub assembly. I got the back mounting plate that you mount onto the axle. So it's got 2 new rear wheel bearings on it. And the wheel bearings are brand new. They are 3rd gen wheel bearings because they have like that manual metal gear to sense the speed. The 4th gens have a plug-in piece. So it's got 3rd gen wheel bearings in it, brand new, with a 4th gen backing plate, a brand new 4th gen rotor, new pads, new calipers. And in doing that, I ran all new brake lines, hard lines on the rear axle here on both sides. And so yeah, it's got 4th gen disc brakes in the rear. So it's got disc all the way around, which is, you can notice the difference. You notice the difference. But yeah, it's got new leafs, new shocks back here. This one doesn't have a sway bar, but I would love to add the sway bar. It has a full-size spare under here. That is a 2nd gen aluminum wheel. I've actually got 2 of those. I have the other one up under my 2nd gen. Yeah, it is a Grand Caravan SE. Her name is Stringbean. I don't know, it's a big green bean. I didn't name her, my girlfriend did. And I kind of rolled with it. But she's got some rust in her. It's not terrible. I'd like to repair it. This fender, I've started repairing it. This fender from here down is cut and patched in. This is I don't know, it was a gray fender, the bottom piece. So I cut the bottom piece off of mine because it had rotted off so bad that it wasn't connected. It was hitting the door. And then I welded in under here a nice piece of fender, a nice rust-free fender. Primed it, painted it, made it look green so you notice. But I had the bright idea of finding the covers that go all the way down. And so it hides all of my imperfect work, protects the fender, and obviously it's now mounted properly and not hitting the door. This driver door is good. It has been fluid filmed on the inside. The rocker from here about halfway back is good, and it's been fluid filmed. On the underside here, this has all been fluid filmed in here. So the metal is good to about halfway. This door has got some rot in it. That's bad, needs to be replaced at some point. The rear section of rocker needs to be replaced, that dog leg, and then the wheel arch needs some work up here. Back here we're good. This is all good back here. The hatch is in good shape, great shape actually. I come around this side. The rust wasn't so bad, but I had a guy hit me with his truck while I was parked and buggered this all up. It's a shame, but this dog leg will be replaced. We can repair that, and then I can address this when we do the wheel arch at some point. So it's not the end of the world. That door is shot. The rockers, once again, from about halfway back, no good. From the front, it's good. That door's got a little bit of rot in here that I've gone in and addressed. But what did I do? A little too much Bondo and it cracked here, so I did the Bondo. But I mean, like what I did is I cut the rust out and then I Bondoed it, but it sat over the winter and it cracked. So what I'll have to do is take this back out, weld in or like rivet in a piece of metal so I get some, solid backing, and then I can go over with a thinner layer and it should hold. That fender is good. There was nothing wrong with that fender. I took it off, cleaned it up, fluid filmed it, so we're good. About here forward. Shock towers are good. This one's got some cancer right here. I pulled this back here and I made sure it wasn't under the sticker. I gotta keep an eye on that. Probably cut a patch out here before it gets too far, but I've been watching it. Hasn't gotten any worse. Yeah, other than that, it's a pretty good machine. I guess the PCM was flashed in 02, so that's cool, I guess. Shut the hood down. It's got some clear coat fading off of it. No big deal. It's got second row buckets. It has the third row bench hiding. That's not present. But no, it's a pretty clean vehicle, actually. I drive this one, what, three times a week, roughly. Otherwise, I usually drive in the 93, the Caravan hiding over there. But yeah, that's my girl here. I've had this one out of my Caravans the second longest. The 05 we've had longer. But my dad had a green 98, same trim level and everything, just like this one when I was a kid. So that and his two second gens he had, I think that's what kind of got me started. But she's not perfect, but it goes down the road great, that's for sure. Well, there you go. I'll figure I'll take you for a quick drive in it. Roll up the window so we don't get dust. Crank that AC up. Ah! Seat belts, everybody. Shifts great. Parked for a bad transmission, and it probably would have been junk too, but I got lucky, I guess. Well, now that we're on the tar, I gotta crank the fans up on this so you keep, because the rockers have some, holes in them naturally, so dust will want to come up on gravel roads. So if you turn your fans all the way on, what it will do is build air pressure in the cabin of the vehicle and keep that dust from wanting to come in here. So, all right, let's center. Not bad. Not terrible anyway. I'll leave you at that. I hope you guys enjoyed my 98 Caravan as much as I do. Alright, well, we just pulled back into the driveway. I almost forgot about the sparkless, so I changed them, right? So, funny story, this goes back to when I actually got hold of it, the van, is that it was naturally in the winter, so I had to dig it out of a snowbank. So I did, dug it out of a snowbank, drove it home. It ran, fired on all 6 cylinders, drove just fine. And then we had a cold snap, and it was, I want to say it was about 0 degrees Fahrenheit, and it wouldn't start. Wouldn't start at all. It would cough, sputter, hit on 1 or 2 cylinders, but it would not run. And got into diagnosing it. It had fuel, so we had power, we got fuel. I think I took a plug wire off, and I put a plug in it, and I arced it on on the block, and it had spark. So it's like, but the spark isn't igniting the fuel in the engine. So either we don't have compression, or spark is not making it into the combustion chamber. And being that it ran perfectly before, I was pretty certain we had combustion, or not combustion, had compression. So I took the plugs out, and I'll include a picture if I remember. Well, I'll remember, but I just need to dig and find the picture. And that I'm pretty sure they were the OEM plugs. Yeah, you wouldn't believe me without seeing the photo, which I'll probably have. I'll pull up here after this clip. But all 6 of them, there was nothing left of the electrode. It was just wore completely down. I couldn't believe it ran at all, let alone as well as it did on all 6. In fact, I had to show the O'Reilly's people. I'm like, yeah, I can't believe these plugs. Take a look at these plugs I pulled out, and they're like, oh my god, like they haven't seen anything that bad. I don't think I'd ever seen anything that bad, but I think you'd get a kick out of it too. But yeah, it ran great on all 6 right up until it didn't. And I have to assume that the cold weather was the fail point, and that the cold weather wouldn't let it, fire on what little spark it had left, because it, the gap was way off. And the plug was wore down, kind of foul. Well, I guess it wasn't really foul, but it was, electrode, had to jump a much bigger gap, which is much more resistance. And I guess with the cold weather, it couldn't overcome that resistance. Anyway, that was a cool story, when I first had it. So yeah, this is Stringbean, my 98 Dodge Grand Caravan SE. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed that one.